Hello. Uh, so today is April 1st. It is, I'm not sure if it's exactly today, but there's a full moon in Libra. And it's the start of a new beautiful cycle. I'm on day 30 of actively doing the practice to heal my PTSD. And that is still very much so something I'm going to see through. I have 10 more days. And I want to get back to filming my results with that. But today is actually about the new practice that I've started. And it's all about empowering you to stand in your own power and move through the world exactly as you already are, but knowing it as you move in that way. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, hopefully it will make sense as I continue to talk. But this morning, I already see a change in how I was moving. I've been struggling with cleaning up things in my home, and then immediately it looks the exact same. And so I feel like I was just in a cycle of doing the same things over and over again, and nothing ever actually seemed like it was getting cleaner. And obviously that's frustrating. And so today I'm developing new systems, and I have cleaned the countertop cleaner than it's ever been in the year that I've lived here. Making space for actual enjoyable time while cooking, which is something that needs to be in this house. Even our table is mostly cleared off once I put away the dishes that are drying. It's something that I've been struggling with for so long, and it's realistically seems so small, but it makes such a difference in how I'm feeling. And I'm grateful, and I'm finding, like, the past few days, I've just been finding little ways to make the space feel cleaner and more organized, without having to throw stuff away, just like finding it a permanent home. And it feels nice. And it also feels nice to just like be easing into this. Finding 1 to 2 solutions a day is what it seems like is coming to me. And it's been nice to see progress without rushing, without forcing it, without pushing myself to my limits. And then this afternoon, I kind of split my days up by before lunch and after lunch, and then after dinner. And I was just so called to rest. Rest. And instead of taking a nap, I was called to just do a lot of energy healing, cleansing of the apartment, Reiki healing, and guided meditations as I start this new journey, new year. Yeah, and then as I was finishing up, I think it was like my third video that just I felt called to. And I saw a video by Salima, who is the woman who is leading the Kundalini yoga journey that I'm on. I saw a video of hers that I've never seen before, and I just felt called to click it, and I did. And today was more of like physical yoga than with breath work still a major part of it, and a meditation at the end. And it's all about energizing your aura, expanding it even further around you, cleansing it, and truly standing in your power, which is what all of the things I've been called to do this afternoon have been leading me towards. And something I realize about myself is I get very in my head, And I'm very capable of talking myself out of doing the things that I want to be doing because of whatever, right? My brain will genuinely tell me anything to appease itself and get me to do what it wants. But I feel much happier and less stagnant when I just kind of ignore the fears that are popping up and go on about my day. And it's funny because I'm really not a social person as much as I think I would like to be. I find talking to people that I don't know just kind of like awkward. And there's a lot of negative self-talk that goes on while I'm speaking to people who don't know me and I don't know them well. And it causes me to doubt myself. And then I get in my head and then I can't fully connect with what people are saying to me. And so it's hard to have a conversation when you've got a whole inner narrative and monologue about how they actually don't want to be talking to you right now. And you're boring or you're weird or blah, 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 right? Like you're awkward, you're making this uncomfortable, is things that I hear a lot. And despite those thoughts, I've started and been able to hold like 5-minute conversations with two different people. Both happened yesterday. And that's progress. That is progress because I do want to build genuine connections. And I think the way that that's going to happen is by being able to endure small talk. And if it builds to something more, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Um, but I just, lately I've been feeling like I was walking through the fog and like I could barely see a few feet in front of me. Sometimes I couldn't see anything at all, and I was just felt like I was stepping forward solely on faith, solely on the belief that I am protected and I am being guided where I'm meant to be, even though I have no idea where I'm going. I can't see anything in front of me. I can't see if there's anyone behind me, around me, none of that. And it's interesting because the guided meditation that I did today, literally one of the visuals that she walked us through was walking through the fog, and then as you're walking you're growing, and eventually your head is taller than the fog, and look around, see what you're able to see. I saw rainbows. And then she said as you walk you keep growing, and eventually the fog is only at your ankles, and it does not hinder you at all. It's not holding you back in any way. You can acknowledge that it's there, but you are so far above it now, it has no effect on you. And she said, look at the rainbows around you, which I thought was crazy because it was like everything she said in this video, I was already picturing, and then she would affirm it later. And I truly do feel like I've stepped out of the fog right now. And I've had moments of it while I was on the beginnings of my journey of healing my PTSD and coming back to myself. But this feels different. Like the past few days, it felt so foggy. I've even had strange vision issues, like lots of blurriness going on. And I was genuinely like, okay, do I need to go to the eye doctor? Do I need to actually get glasses to wear all the time instead of just the reading glasses that I have? And like genuinely being concerned. Will I still probably go to the eye doctor once I get the chance? Probably, better safe than sorry. But it was really bad at lunchtime today. And after all the rest and rejuvenating and healing that I've done on myself with the help of others who post these videos online, everything feels much better. I feel better. I feel more confident just showing up as myself. And yes, I am different than most people that I encounter in my life. Um, that's how it's always been. And I think it's part of me, and maybe this is like the inner child in me, but it's like part of me was hoping that as I healed, I would become somebody who could be more relatable to others, who would fit in better, who would just be more quote unquote normal. And I think I'm really starting to come to peace with the fact that I'm never going to be like others around me. I'm never going to fit in. I'm never going to be a cookie cutter type of person, and that's okay. I might always be socially awkward, and that's okay because honestly, that's a barrier where if people are willing to see past it and still want to get to know me, like that's just further affirmation that they care enough to do that because many people have overlooked me just because I'm awkward and shy and have social anxiety, sometimes quite severe social anxiety. Um, and yeah, like even I had recorded an audio message and I listened to it the other day. And in it, I was talking about like, you keep expecting yourself to behave and act like other people around you. But can you name a single person that you can genuinely compare yourself to and see similarities across all of the areas of your life? And the answer is no. Like, there is nobody that I can compare myself to. And I've never liked being compared to others because it's like, okay, we may have this one trait alike, but we are very separate human beings. Um, and it's funny because as much as I've always kind of known this about myself, I think it's been a bit hard to accept. Um, Yeah. And this is just about understanding and knowing that I am enough exactly as I am right now. There's no more healing, there's no more self work that I need to do. I've done that. And I'm always going to continue on this journey of my spirituality and caring for my energy and myself. Um, but it's no longer with this need to heal, which was necessary. And I'm very grateful that I've done the work these past years to get to this place. But now I've reached a point where it's like, okay, now it's time to reap the benefits of all the healing that I've done and spread my light to the rest of the world, however that happens, just by being myself. And it feels good. And I still don't have a mapped out plan of where I'm going, but I do know that the universe is looking out for me, simply because it loves me and I love it. And I've done so much to ensure that I was a vessel that could carry whatever it is that I'm meant to do while I'm here. And now I get to just be that. And I know that all these delays, all the fog, it was so that I didn't self sabotage what I have coming to me, all the blessings that are on their way, that are here with me. And it feels good to know that I am accepting the version of myself that receives all of that. It really does. And as much as I'd like to say, oh, I have this plan of where I'm going, I've never planned anything in my life. All the things that have been the biggest blessings in my life have come to me just for being my true and authentic self, even in times where I was struggling and my frequency was lower than what it is right now, and I was going through the worst of it. I still received beautiful blessings simply because of me as a human being, as a person. and how I show up in the world and show up for others and myself. And it's like, why would I now believe that after doing all this work and leaving the toxicity behind and undoing those mindsets in my brain, that I wouldn't be blessed with even bigger and better things? That's illogical. That's insane in the worst way. And I never planned any of those things. In fact, everything that I've had a set plan has been thwarted by the universe, by things outside of my control, because it's not where I was meant to be. Because I would have got there because I'm determined. I would have got there and I would have been miserable. And so, even though they felt like curses, in that time, those were blessings redirecting me to get me to where I need to be. And I trust and believe that the blockages that were popping up as I was trying to go on this path with a set plan was just guidance. Like, hey, you're setting yourself up for something that is going to feel like a trap later on. And so this is me just showing up. I have no plan. There's not strategy going on behind this, because every time I try to strategize, my life falls apart. I fall into freeze. It doesn't work. And it's just time to allow my intuition to lead me to just show up as me authentically, and the opportunity, and like just honestly trust that the opportunities that are coming to me, they're coming. And they're going to find me just because I'm showing up and being me. And maybe it's through putting myself out here on the internet so that people can see, and maybe it's not. Maybe this is just a entry for me to be able to go back and see. Or maybe even like Dochi, where she posted those videos not expecting anyone to really see it, and now that she's made it, which she always knew she was going to, people are circulating those videos like crazy and watching them, even though they're from years ago. Maybe that's what this is. I don't know. I truly don't know. And it feels good to be able to say that I don't care anymore. I don't care. And I'm not going to put pressure on myself to show up every day on camera, because that's a trap. And something that I've realized, even just in exploring my own gender identity and sexuality and queerness and all that that means to me, something that these two people said on a podcast. I don't have the name. I might link it in the description below, but they said, queerness is all about breaking out of this box that society has put sexuality and gender into, and how people should dress and act and who they should like and blah, 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 right? We break out of that, and then you're in this queer space, and it's like, now we have to label everything, right? Well, are you bi or are you gay? Are you pansexual or bisexual? All these little things, like, well, are you a man or a woman? And it's just like, no. Or I've noticed that since using he, they pronouns, and I'm is guilty of this as well, I feel the pressures and expectations of cis men being placed upon me. And every time it pisses me off. I'm like, I'm not a man. Like, yeah, I am, but no, I'm not. You know, like, I am not a cis man. I have never wanted to be. I'm just me. I'm shy. I prefer he, they pronouns. And right now, I'm content with how I look. Like, I enjoy being me and being confusing to other people. That's okay. And it's just like, I did all this work to leave all these self-limiting beliefs behind, just to try and push myself into a box as a content creator, as a whatever, trying to hear all these rules about how you need to do social media in order to succeed, all the SEO, all the psychology behind it, all of this stuff, right? All this strategy. And while that all is beautiful, and maybe there will be a time where I utilize these things that I'm learning, right now they feel very limiting and they feel like it's impossible. I'm never going to get here, especially since a lot of the information that people are giving me and telling me to do, I'll use AI to compile all these thoughts and ideas together for you and do this research for you. And it's just like, I don't feel comfortable with that right now. Like the AI feels very unethical because I know what it does to the world, and how are we using up clean water and then dumping terrible toxic water, especially because they're all being planted around black and brown neighborhoods. It's just like, I don't want to be a part of that. And I'm sure there are versions of AI that are more ethical out there. Um, right now, I just don't care to research all that. I would just prefer to avoid it whenever possible. And so I just felt myself hitting these blocks. And it's like, I need to stop putting myself in a box. I will never fit into any box. I don't care what shape, what size, what color, where it comes from. You cannot fit all of me into a box. Ever. And continuing to try and put myself in this box is limiting the hell out of me. And I'm tired of it. I get to just show up as me, and the people who respond to it, great. It's so nice to have you here. And if you don't respond to it, it wasn't meant for you. And that's okay. And yeah, I don't know what's to come, but like I'm just like, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to receive what it is, because I know that even though it may not be what I've envisioned, it's going to be something that turns out even more beautiful than I can imagine. And I'm excited. And I know that it's going to come at the right time when I can fully accept it, embrace it, and not fight back against it and try to control it. Because I'm no longer trying to control the narrative. I'm just being. And it is the most freeing feeling that I've ever experienced. And truly, I wish we could just microdose the world with it, maybe macrodose the world with it. I could tell you that all this grind that is just funneling money straight to the billionaires who profit off of our existence, it would halt immediately if the whole world could just be dosed with this feeling. And even those billionaires would no longer wish to be a part of this cycle. Yeah, that's me today. Happy New Year, happy spring. I am excited. I hope you are too.